Heyo.
G'day, Piggly. How you doing, fella?
Podcast for exercise for the win. Yeah,
Sick.
I love that as well. It's good to just listen to some interesting conversation and or an interview or something, and then you're just like, oh, I did lots of the exercise. I am sweaty and sore. Good stuff.
Heck yeah. All right.
How you guys doing? Is Ravi going to be later?
Yeah, I think he's
Maybe.
quite sick. So
Oh no.
when I hit that ranked button,
Yeah, he got dairy in his bowl.
Wait. Oh, and the song. Oh man, he's got to stop eating all this hipster shit. Seriously, stop eating acai bowl. Stop drinking Starbucks, and you will be fine, Ravi.
I know
Damn
it's like super easier said than done. But if I was as allergic as Robbie was, I would never let anyone else touch my meals ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he
actually
doesn't,
just
he
make
doesn't make his own meals ever. So.
Yeah, but that's a Ravi problem, not a world problem.
He did make bread that one time, and I think it's all he
Yes.
ate for the whole weekend was
And he
just
drinks
bread.
beer a lot, which has a lot of stuff in it, which I'm amazed by.
But no milk.
But no milk, that is true.
Maybe he's built up the tolerance.
I mean, clearly he's okay with gluten. That's nice. But just everything else.
Yeah, imagine if he couldn't eat gluten. That would
Oh
actually
my
be
god, he'd be fucked.
disaster.
He'd be eating paper. It's like- he'd be buying books for food, not for... It'd be terrifying.
Do you guys ever worry that like our gene pool is going to get really weak because we keep like, like everyone survives now?
Nah, dude, my kid's gonna be a fucking warrior.
He's gonna rub his face in dirt.
My kid's gonna be a warrior.
It's like, no, I'm not having one of these shitty hospital births. We're going to plop him out into a field and let him like crawl around until he finds the teat.
Have you guys seen or heard or play the new God of War game?
I have not, no.
Yes, I finished it actually.
There you go. It'd be very much like, boy!
Kratos.
Yeah.
Oh, we started the squad
Boy,
stream,
read
by
it.
the way. Mayno.
Squad streaming? Oh, cool. I
Yeah.
use the multi-link because I have a multi-link up in my thing about, but I'll do the squad thing as well. Just log in. All of my tabs are closed because I had to restart the stream. I had like massive sound problems.
Cool. Which one's better, multi-Twitch or multi-stream? I always forget. Is multi-stream the cleaner one?
I don't know. I figured it was much of a muchness. It's like kind of the same thing.
Yeah, it looks pretty much the
Multi-Twitch
same.
is better, but then squad stream is better for mobile users.
Yeah, squad stream's really sick if you're on mobile. That's for sure. Because that's when I first saw it. I opened up Twitch on my phone in bed, and I'm like, oh, dude, this looks amazing. Why is everyone complaining about it? And then I opened up my PC and I went, oh. Okay, well.
Yeah. Well, big thanks to TechJess for throwing that link out as well. So yeah, we've got a multi and a squad link. Hopefully that should work. Cool.
Cool. Now all we need is a video game.
No, we
Hey,
don't.
man.
I mean, dude, this is the part of the show where I just open up Kotaku and I just like read recent gaming
Well, you don't need
articles
to do
and
that
then we
because
talk
I have
shit
a
about
topic
them.
for you guys. I have a topic for you guys. All right.
Oh, I can't wait to hear it.
I mean, most people would have seen it on Twitter the last hour or two, but YouTube, or rather Google, has announced their earnings from ad revenue for YouTube versus Twitch.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah?
Twitch got 300 million ad revenue. YouTube, something like tens of billions or something.
That's not YouTube gaming though, right? That's YouTube.
Correct. And which is why I think it's funny that a lot of people that are Twitch streamers, our boy Nate included, are like, it's a fucking joke, blah, blah, blah. Twitch not awarding same ad revenue or not, competitive ad revenue compared to YouTube. And I'm like, yeah, but YouTube's not just video games. YouTube's a lot of not video games, actually. Like the percentage, the slice of the pie of YouTube content of gaming is actually relatively small compared to it's like it's hardware tutorials, it's makeup, it's talk shows, it's movie stuff, it's cinema stuff.
Music.
I watched a girl eat a stick of deodorant one time into a ASMR mic.
There you go.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's just all that shit. And of course, it has like 10 times, if not 100 times the user base of Twitch, I'd have to say. Like something like that. So of course, the numbers are going to be a lot bigger. But what was more interesting about this is how upset some esports people were that about it. Like they were just like, wow, this is massive. What a big deal. And I'm like, is it? Is it a big deal? Is it a surprise? If you sit there and think about it for a minute? I don't know. Zombiegrub Pig. What are your thoughts? Because I feel like also, what does the individual on YouTube earn versus the individual on Twitch per capita? Partnered Twitch streamer, of course, I'm talking about.
Yeah,
If you're a partner Twitch streamer like Pig, even your YouTube, your YouTube's pretty successful. Zombiegrubs is also, way bigger than mine will ever be. But what do you get? Like, if Twitch went away, if you were truly mad at Twitch and you just cared about ad revenue, how much would you earn per month? Don't give numbers, obviously.
A small fraction, like a seventh or something. I don't know. Like, YouTube does not give a lot of money. It's gone up for me when you hit there's like these weird points where it jumps up in these peaks where I think the algorithm starts to love you a little more and you get suggested, and more people are clicking it on their phones and they don't have ad blockers installed, and those views are worth a ton more than, like, you often start out with a hardcore audience and everybody's ad blocking and you get almost nothing until you hit one of those spikes where you're like, oh, the algorithm suggested me to a bunch of people watching on their phones and mobile devices. So iPads, phones is generally where you get most of the ad revenue. So it does go up. I think the bigger you get and the more viewership, you get actually a higher percentage, just due to the fact that you get more casual viewers naturally, because the algorithm keeps suggesting you to randos and it keeps bringing new people in, and there's like that self-fulfilling, more viewership leads to more viewership, but it also leads to more conversion. But it's still, I mean, I like to imagine if I hit 1 million subscribers one day with StarCraft 4 or something, StarCraft 3 or Warcraft 4, that
you're jumping
would go higher.
We need StarCraft 3 first.
Yeah, I think it's pretty low comparatively. Like, obviously, a lot of that is not just subscribers, but it's also people tipping and using cheers and that sort of stuff. Like, Patreon helps people make up the difference with YouTube, but per view, you're still making far more on Twitch usually, because it's a much more personal
that was my understanding.
Relationship. Like we're talking to people, they're talking to us, I'm learning from my audience, they're imparting wisdom on us and also learning from us as well. So it's a much closer relationship, I think, in Twitch.
I also think I could be completely wrong here, and I haven't actually Googled these numbers, but it feels like the entire user base of Twitch is actually similar to the subscriber count of like 1 or 2 YouTubers that I can think of. The entire user base of Twitch. YouTube is just infinitely bigger.
Yeah,
well, not infinitely bigger. There's actually isn't a number, but
it's actually ridiculous. Now, if you're doing any video content, and it's like, Daily Motion's like, we'll give you $1,000 to come do it over here, and you're like, that sounds like a good idea, but the audience is not as big. And yeah, it's this weird thing that's happened, obviously, with the internet, where it's like the ability to control where traffic is directed to is immense, right? And this is why, there's all these like Facebook hearings with political stuff, because people are like, wait, people are actually able to like really swing public opinion one way or another just using Facebook. Like, oh shit, this is kind of crazy, man. We should check out how this works, because this seems kind of dangerous and something we don't fully understand or control. So it's actually really interesting to think about.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. I mean, it wasn't again, like, not a shock to me personally at all. Okay, if it's a shock to other people, but someone that was like relatively involved in esports and streaming and that sort of thing, content production, not a shock. That one outweighs the other as far as ad revenue goes, but when Twitch people get upset about it, they are ignoring all the other avenues of earning on Twitch.
Yeah,
you don't get $5 a month for a subscriber on YouTube.
I mean, it would be really cool if we got YouTube and Mixer and stuff really coming in a big way and trying to be a big disruptor, I guess, to Twitch.
Yeah, Twitch has no competition, really.
Get a benefit for that.
Well, unfortunately, I feel like this is gonna overall be a bad thing for Twitch. Like, not just because like they make less money, but they did all those things to add experiences because they promised that they wanted to hit the 500 million, and they came short of it.
Okay,
and that's why our ad experiences got a lot worse.
Enemy fire.
Because they overpromised to the new overlords. So
yeah, Amazon.
Going up short is actually, I feel like, going to just push them into doing even more bad like ad practices and not actually better ad practices.
Yeah, like worse pre-roll rules or something like that.
They're also going to start pushing like more non-gaming related content, which might actually be okay overall, better for Twitch, but for I think us and esports and stuff, it's going to be a bit of a bummer, actually.
Well, I've actually just been wanting to get my workout channel going for a while, so it's going to be fantastic.
Okay, the pig's fine.
Oh no.
To making it a makeup
no.
channel because sometimes I look a little bit blotchy in the morning, so I like a little powder kit out and a little foundation.
Remember to keep your glutes tight, guys. You gotta keep those glutes tight. Come on.
I like to make sure that I'm engaging my core while I'm getting Proxy 3-raxed. Thank you so much, Silas, by the way, for the tier 1 resub, and Calamity190, thank you so much for gifting a tier 1 to the BBBZ.
So here's something that's interesting and more related to StarCraft. It was just announced that the GSL Super Tournament's delayed because of the coronavirus.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Also, it's not in 2 days?
I guess not. I mean, it was already so surprising to hear that it was at any point in time. Like, the advertisement for this stuff has been really bad. And even Gemini said it. He fucking lives in Korea. But yeah, it's definitely not going to be in 2 days. They're delaying it. Hold on. Postponed to March.
Wow, damn.
To March. Wow, that's a while away. Damn.
I think, speaking of coronavirus, from what I understand, it obviously has killed people. It's pretty much killing, like, people that are susceptible to lung disease.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same as SARS and MERS. They both ended up with 2 to 3% fatality rates, which is very, I think, maybe double of influenza. I don't know, double the regular flu. And that the flu does kill a lot of people every year, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands globally, I believe. Mostly young children, young infants, old people at risk. But at the same time, someone did point this out because I was saying the same thing on my channel. He said, well, you got to keep in mind, though, it is like it's so new that we still have a trailing statistic there. So we're like, oh, look, it's at 2% fatalities, but like it's exponentially infecting people. So that we need to like give it a bit more time before we're actually like, oh, yeah, it's only like 2% of people that are dying or something. We don't really know exactly where that number is going to stabilize just yet. So I'm curious to see where that ends up. Oh, can you fuck off? Little shit, get out of my face.
Like, if they don't take it seriously every time, then something's gonna slip through the cracks, and you'll be like, wow, we really should have taken that seriously.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not the black lung or whatever, or smallpox or some shit. The black plague. Black lung's the one you just get from working in a mine, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a second, that's.
I also don't know if it's real because it was on Zoolander when I learned about it. So. Papa, I think I'm getting the black lung.
Be sure it's real.
All right.
I love that movie.
Yeah, it really sucks. It's actually disrupting a lot of esports.
Yeah, a lot of everything. The panic's pretty crazy. My friend, I went to his wedding on the weekend, and it was a small, quote-unquote small 80-person wedding.
That ain't small shit. But anyway,
yeah, not in my mind either, though. For many people, apparently it is. But like 20 didn't come, so they're worried about coronavirus. And part of the reason is because some of his family was his wife's family were coming from China. Like only a few of them, and they're from like a neighboring province. People were just like super freaked out though, and I don't know. Maybe I'm just a bit blasé. I am a bit blasé about this sort of shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna say as far as I land on it, like maybe I'll look like an idiot, but I feel very blasé about it. I feel it's super blown out of proportion. Just from reading a little bit about it, and that I must, I have to admit, disclaimer, I am not as informed as, a lot of the people that are talking about it. But
zombiegrub, can you put an overlord up here by any chance, just so I can kill those workers every now and then? Oh, what was that coming out?
Yeah. It's
Hello.
I'm also a relatively healthy person, so I feel like even if I did get it, I'm not going to be like in danger.
Your creep's triggering me. All right, I'll build the rest of my production up in my main, no worries. I was like, what the fuck?
Comms open.
What the fuck?
Got a target in mind.
Alright. Gonna get all the fun.
Chat has confirmed that black lung is real. Thank you, chat.
Got it. Comms open. Systems go. Cyclone ready for action.
Yeah, it's I get that it's the spreading of it fast. The quick spreading of it is definitely a scary thing for sure. But just shut like if it's.
Oh, I had a Reaper this whole time that could have jumped up there. I didn't need to stand. I'm so bad.
I'm not saying it's like not a big issue. I'm just saying that it's like not going to end the world and I wouldn't shut down all infrastructure because of it.
Oh, Doom drop. Yeah, double drop on the top. I should get there in time to cut it off, but if you can run up to the main zombie grub, Maynard, one of you, to deal with it in case I don't cut it
I'll
off
go
in
on
time.
lane. You interrupt.
Come on, Cyclones, get up here. Oh, you got mutas as well. Hello.
Our allies' base is threatened.
Oh
See how muta versus muta goes when you've got Cyclones locking on as well.
All right, nice.
I'm on it. Who wants some?
Upgrade.
Did that drop happen yet?
Oh, we killed it.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Our allies are in combat.
Cool.
Our research has concluded.
I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that base. That's what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna take that base.
By the numbers, boys.
Come play.
You gonna give me orders?
Whoa, hello.
Add-ons complete.
Alright, I'm gonna just go, around. Okay, actually,
The command center has
I'm
been
just gonna leave that
upgraded.
tank there, and we are gonna go.
Damn. Chat's confirmed that Black Lung is real, and now Ragnarok has confirmed that it's super real. Realer than the realist.
Whoa, super
Damn.
real? Holy shit.
KY has a pension fund.
Our
The mining
allies
companies
are
have
in
to pay as
combat.
part of their taxes. Ooh. There you go. Someone's knocking on my door. Fantastic.
The add-on has been completed.
Just in time for stream.
40 will save you. Or 40? No. Loki.
Wardy.
40 will not save you.
Wardy won't save me. He's probably asleep.
You gonna give me orders?
Actually, what am I kidding? He's not asleep.
All
Our
these
allies
houses.
casting
are
right
in
now.
combat.
Really?
Yeah.
Does he have a stop? It's like
Not
2
really.
a.m.
I don't
in the
think
UK, isn't it? Oh, I guess it's midnight. It's actually not too bad.
Add-ons complete.
Magfield lock-ons. Oh, another drop
Our
coming in.
allies are in combat.
Nice.
Show him, Loki.
Loki's like, that guy gets through the door, he's gonna have a bad time.
We got it, Maynard. By the way, if you want to.
And just aim it with us.
Yeah.
Easy.
Sure. All right, back in a sec.
Yeah, I'm not at all scared of
Our
anything
allies
because I never
are
go
in
outside.
combat.
I go to the gym, and that's actually like most of what I do.
How are you so fearless, Zombie Grub? Well, I never leave my house.
It's like sad in a way, but yeah, whatever.
No, I'm actually kind of the same. I was like, wow, this coronavirus would be scary if I didn't work from home. Like, I was like, even if I get it, I'm just gonna keep streaming. Like, I was like, and then it's like, I'd probably still just be streaming for a few hours each day. Like, can't just lie in bed all day. Like, and then I'd probably just
Yeah.
get better. Like, it wouldn't really affect me that much. I'd just, I don't know, sleep on a mallet in my streaming studio room, and so I don't infect Dot, and that'd be about it.
Yeah. We get 0 MMR points for that. Beat it ups. The whole Korean scene is actually like, I'm not saying that nothing's gonna happen, but it is kind of crazy that nothing has been announced. Or
Yeah, I mean, people were freaking out here, right? Because it took so long for the announcement to come out, and we kind of all knew that something was happening. We had some tips and stuff, so we were like, guys, calm down, it's fine. But it's really weird that it hasn't been announced yet. Yeah. You know what else is sad for the Korean scene though? The Protoss players. I hope Trap just dominates and becomes really sick at PvZ this year. Because what we got Stats gone, right? Classic gone.
No, Stats is still around.
Isn't he leaving in like a few months though? Isn't he just like waiting for his military notice so he could like leave at any moment? Or am I imagining things? I think
You
he's,
might
like-
be right about that, but I mean, he's definitely going to Katowice, so...
Oh yeah, okay. Let me actually check when Stats' birthday is. Might be younger than I think.
Like, him and Zest, I think, are, like, they're basically on the age where the military's like, yeah, you really have to come.
Yeah, Stats is 27, Zest is 27. Yeah.
It's a constant worry for them, but they're not going to... Yeah, they're going to buy every second. So both of them will probably get very abrupt, like, hey, we can't even make it to GSL Season 3 because, yeah, we're actually in the military.
Yeah, like Classic is 28. Turned 28 in November. So, and he had to go, of course. He was
I'm back.
kinda forced to.
Sorry.
Hello.
So, it was the power guy who's trying to read my meter.
Stupid power guy.
Did he need help because he couldn't read numbers? Did he need you to read it off for him, or?
No. It's inside of a garage. Don't be mean, Pig. It's in a locked compound. If he could get into my power meter without me knowing about it, I would be very concerned.
Excuse me, sir. Can you tell me what these symbols say? Like, this is your job.
What are these magical Nordic runes? I'm like, that's the number 6.
I was really freaked out the first time I saw a dude come up and start reading the meter on like the first share house I lived in. I was like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm the power guy." I'm like, "What are you doing on my porch?" He's like, "I'm checking the thing." And I'm like, "What scam is this?" I like went and googled it. I'm like, "Oh, apparently this is totally normal. Cool, okay."
Really?
I just assumed he had some complicated scam he was trying to do, and I thought it was super sus.
Pig assumes scandal at all times.
Yeah, man. I'm always on alert.
Not unlike my dog, who's got like, he's having like those aftershock barks, where he's like, he's like, it starts off with him going, "Someone's here, someone's here, someone's here, someone's here," and now that they've left, he's like barking a little bit and walking around the house and going, "Someone was here, someone was here, someone was here."
Your dog's cute.
He is a cutie. He's a cutie patootie, not unlike his old man.
So here's another thing to talk about.
I'm gonna refill my water bottle. I'll be back in 1 second.
All right, hit me, Zombie Grub. I'm ready.
Okay. What do you think about Doa potentially coming back to
Thank you so
StarCraft?
much, Day Day, by the way. Much love.
I think that there is not much room for another commentator of Doa's level. I think that it's...
You mean he's pay grade?
Yes.
Or do you mean he's that much better than we are?
No, I mean pay grade. I mean someone that's... If he came to StarCraft 2, I'd imagine it would be a pretty massive downgrade up to what he's used to. I don't know what he earned doing League in Korea. Being one of the main duos, or the main duo in Korea, casting League with Monty, I'd assume that they had a pretty decent setup. Overwatch League, I'm not 100% on what the salaries are for people in Overwatch League, but I assume that they are better than what you would get going to X number of events per year as a StarCraft commentator, unless you went to all of them. I also think that he hasn't cast with any of us or been a part of the game for a very long time, and would need a lot of time to catch up with meta and whatnot. You can't just arrive and go, "Yeah, I can play by play this," and having not really been a part of Legacy of the Void at any point.
Are we talking about Sean?
No. Apollo actually knows what a Liberator is. I actually am not 100% sure if Doa does. We're talking about Doa potentially returning to StarCraft 2. I know what something I was talking about.
Did Doa leave LoL? Or what was he? Oh, Overwatch, I mean.
Overwatch League, yeah.
Yeah.
I know Monty left. Isn't Doa still there, though?
No, he left.
No.
He was
Oh.
he was a little less certain, and then a couple days later he announced he wasn't. Like there's a lot of people that left Overwatch League, but
Yeah.
yeah, Doa included.
Yeah, no, that takes a lot of effort, but those big dogs are trying to obviously, like, Monty and Doa came from League of Legends, like, to go to StarCraft, a small scene with an abundance of very good commentators, and
That's what I'm saying.
like it's insane, right? Yeah, like imagine being like, yeah, I'm gonna try to just step to that one where there's not as many events and stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah.
We've got so many good commentators, man. We've got too many.
Yeah, and it just feels like our scene, our roster is already really, like, the roster is really full, and our scene is already small enough that it's like there's not room for him, which is what I said before you came to sit down, which is a shame because he's a great commentator. But if he wanted to say jump into something like CS:GO, I think it's like they'd probably be desperate to have more people to give other people a break. But then again, I don't know if you're getting paid per gig with CS:GO or if you have some kind of. I'd imagine it's per gig thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nawal says Doa came from StarCraft. Didn't Doa leave StarCraft in like 2011 though? Like this is like a long time ago when he went to LoL.
Sure, he hasn't watched much Heart of the Swarm either.
And go watch games from back then. The players didn't know what they were doing, so I'm pretty sure the casters had very little game knowledge as well. Like, no offense, it's just the game wasn't well figured out.
That was actually back when caster versus player was a bigger argument. Straight up an argument. So yeah, you're not exactly wrong.
Yeah.
But I think that there is a chance, though, that I think he would get invited. Like, yeah, he probably makes a lot more money doing other things, but he is absolutely 100% freelance right now. He got back on a Hearthstone and did like a fairly big tournament recently.
Oh, that's cool.
And I think there is something to be said about the power of nostalgia. Mr. Bitter coming back to Home Story Cup was, didn't bring in thousands of viewers, but obviously they thought it was a cool idea, so they did that. I think they could do it with Doa if he's willing to take a pay cut, but as far as like how much they think they'd be worth it and how much of a pay cut he got, I wouldn't know. But he is clearly interested in like really trying everything, so I think we could see him for kind of a random event almost.
Cool.
Dallas or something.
Yeah, I feel like with StarCraft as well, like if you want to spice things up, something like that has a, I guess, probably good star power. I don't actually keep up with other games that much, but I'm like, I feel like he's probably a pretty big deal. Obviously, Monty is the bigger of the pair and stuff, but
right, yeah.
I feel like
kind of weird.
You can get TLO or Snoot or someone to cast an event as like an expert, kind of, and everyone will lose their minds and be like, oh my god, so good, they know so much about the game. Like, we obviously, but DeMuslim kind of fills that role at the moment, like, whilst not really being a player anymore, he's still good enough and knows enough and has been like learning all the races and stuff, and it's just one of those things where we've got so many good personalities and speakers that aren't even casters, let alone the fact there's so many good casters, so I don't know, I think we're all like, no, don't take our gerbs, get the fuck out of here,
But
piece of shit.
Those things where we, would want to keep it in the scene, basically.
Keep it in the family.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that like the organizers would want to, or we wouldn't be looked down upon for such an opinion.
What's going on?
That's like recent drama in like Rainbow Six actually. They had like this big thing happening in Montreal, and they invited a woman, which
Yeah, I heard about that.
The command
People were like,
also a woman.
upgraded.
what?
Yeah, well, she had.
What's going on?
I looked briefly into it. It was so weird because her name is Jess, and I just felt like I was being yelled at by a teacher. But anyways, she had some like, I guess she was like not the most delicate wording when she would say things, but I absolutely agree with everyone who analyzed it and said if a guy said that, they'd just be considered a hard ass, not a bitch. So there's that issue, but they all also invited Anna to host. And apparently they have this really like well-loved host that they want him to go to everything. And so they were upset that he didn't go. And they kind of have that thing where it's like, let's reward people who are coming into the community and not outside.
Yeah.
So there's that like weird balancing act. I think, unfortunately, StarCraft is still
Multiple
like
Reapers, by the way.
It's still a smaller game than Rainbow Six. Rainbow Six has really been exploding.
It is actually getting a lot bigger? Okay, cool.
Yeah, it is.
I didn't know that. Because, like, people are always like, oh, this game's so big now, doing so well. We got 400 viewers.
The add-on has been completed.
What the fuck are you all talking
Our
about?
allies
Like, there's
are
just so many
in
people
No.
wanting to make things bigger than they are in esports, Everyone wants their thing to be the biggest and the best, and any growth is something
Very
I'm
true.
so excited about. Guys, we got 20% more viewership in the StarCraft tournament. We need 7 Reddit posts about it or something. I'm like, it's one tournament. Like, calm down.
But our game is the biggest and the best. I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Certainly the best.
So I'm getting Reapers right.
About 20 seconds till Hellions get down there. You got anything down there, Zombie Grub, or I don't know?
I was trying to send over some Marines, but not really.
Yeah. Sorry.
SCV ready. Roger.
Our allies are in combat.
Ready to raise some hell.
Oh, a lot of those Reapers barely surviving.
Thank you.
Our allies are in combat.
SCV ready.
You're welcome.
No. Okay,
Oh.
turns.
Some hell.
What a world we live in. So many questions.
Oh, here's the Reapers.
Daylight burning.
Oh, now they're a problem
Draw
because they're
them
hitting you.
into
Reporting for action.
Add-on
That tank got a
complete.
real nice shot on him. And yeah, Maynard, that's how it works. You know that. Just fulfill your role as the punching bag and shut up.
Like, oh my god, 3 racks Reaper. Oh, it's fine. We'll just keep talking about Rainbow Six. Oh, the Reapers are in my mineral line. Holy shit! Stop the presses, Maynard. Shut the fuck up. We're under attack.
One last thing about the DOA is that I do think that the StarCraft scene doesn't have a lot of pure hype class
Our allies
casters.
are in combat.
Is that what he is?
The reason
That is true.
yeah.
They might
Thank you.
Oh, please run in there still after seeing that there's Widow Mines. Maynard!
Oh my god. You killed all of my segments.
Our allies
Alright, well, I'm dead. Those are blue flame aliens, so.
I have a battle cruiser about to pop out.
Not dead, Maynard. You. Maynard, run the
add-on
drones.
has been
Run the drones.
completed. Our allies are in combat.
We fine. You're fine. I mean, obviously there's damage. I'll pass you minerals. There you go. That's a ton of minerals I just passed you.
Thank you.
Our allies' base is threatened.
Okay.
SCV ready.
Holding defeat.
Do it, ZG. Fucking do it.
Will do. This better be
Got a
good.
robotics band away.
Our allies are in combat.
Making a rich
They're
one.
guarding there. Oh,
Our
okay. Let's run up
allies are
there.
in combat.
Go, go, go. Oh, there is a
Got
wall.
Blink.
Damn.
Blink Disruptor?
Maybe. Oh my god, Loki, shut the fuck up.
Word.
Oh, I've made some laser overlords, dude.
SCV
Our allies are in combat.
absolute. SCV ready.
Nice.
Who wants some? You gonna give me orders? On this better be
Our
good.
research has concluded.
Huh? Bad news? Go, go, go!
Told us used to be pretty hype in this cast. We had more hype casters back in the day, but I mean, certainly our scene was
Yeah,
more
Nate,
elitist than others. So,
Polaris, obviously Tasteless.
so we started just prioritizing more analysis, which I think the hardcore people still like say they want all analysis all the damn time. Doesn't matter how dry it is, but I think
Armed and ready.
it's not.
So I've actually had days where I was like, that was pretty bad casting, Pig. And then I see some guys like, that was the best casting I've ever heard. You didn't let the other guy speak. You just kept speaking about the strategy while there was hype plays happening. And I'm like, oh man, I'm pretty sure that was some of the worst commentary I've ever done. Like, please,
Our allies
please
are
no,
in combat.
man.
Yeah, it happens.
Oh my god.
But yeah,
By the
so we might even push them like away a little. Do a little bit of a
Wait. Did I just do a double drop into a single turret?
Haven't been pushed away. I just think that the ones that have stuck around have just happened to be analysts. I think it's a
Because they love the
not a
game
cause-
so
not a
much.
game cause. It's a personal cause. Like, you know.
Research complete.
There we go. Yeah, that's my opinion. I think that a lot of people actually really like halfcasters in StarCraft 2. Like, there's obviously going to be people out there that are like, oh my god,
forces are
cringe,
under
he's
attack.
yelling la la la, cringe. But in my experience as a hypecaster, a lot of the pros and a lot of people that love StarCraft 2 actually like the hype because because they just want that energy.
Upgrade
Sure.
successful.
like I think if you ask the
Because
general public, but again,
you aren't going to tell a pro gamer something that they don't already know as an analyst.
actually that's not necessarily true. Maybe
Well.
about their own race, but
Yeah, well, I mean,
I've been asked a lot of questions.
Yeah.
I literally was watching a TVT and Scarlett was like, "Is this normal?" As they're going into like
Our
triple
research has
starport, and I was like,
concluded.
"Yes." But
Our
I get your
forces
point.
are under
I think,
attack. Add-on.
but I think it is different. Like whenever someone comes in, as an announcement, and they're not like they haven't proven themselves as an
Upgrade
analyst, the
complete.
initial response is certainly like they don't even know the game. What we play. Not like, "Oh wow, I really like how they can bring the hype and stuff like
Our
that."
allies
The command
are in
center
combat.
has pretty much only
Upgrade. The
Tasteless
add-on
and
has been
Maynard get credit
completed.
for that.
You don't know what you're talking about. Stop speaking.
Well, there's an art form to it. If you're just like, oh my god, explosions.
Of
And
course,
that's
like
one
it's not that. Yeah, I think people like erroneously like say that play-by-play casters don't have to know the game. Sometimes they go like the totally opposite end of the criticism spectrum, right?
We have
Or
met
that
the
they like it's
enemy
the
in
easiest thing.
combat.
It's easier being an analyst and all that. And I think they're wrong, but I do think that's what a lot of our scene is. I mean, I think a lot of these sports are like this. You obviously want to like know your stuff and be proven amongst the community. But StarCraft
Guys, middle of the
is,
map.
certainly one of the original.
Get out here. Let's jump on some siege up.
I'm ready.
Our allies are in combat.
Oh, that's a good spread of tanks. Nice. Good job.
Upgrade
Zombiegrub.
successful.
Ah, zombiegrub too good.
Zombiegrub's the best. Oh my god.
Our
She's
SCVs
the better
are under
commentator.
enemy
She's the better
fire.
player.
Yeah, I mean, yes.
Colossus. Delicious.
Our allies base is threatened.
Hey!
Our
Oh,
allies are in
no!
combat.
These guys are real tryhards, man. It's making me uncomfortable.
Yeah, they're like masters, man. Like,
Our allies
watch
base
yourselves.
is threatened. Our allies base is threatened.
They're not that good.
Our allies are in combat. Mineral cluster depleted.
Fucking, now I'm two hatchers.
Mineral field depleted.
Yeah, I'm
Our
in
allies are
trouble.
in combat. Our allies are in combat.
Okay, this little fucking container is pissing me off. Yeah, these guys just built lots
They're
of
attacking
turrets.
our SCVs.
Ended my
to
trophy
command
drops.
center. A mineral field. Our allies are in
To
combat.
be honest, for a lot of this game, I was confused
Upgrade
with colors
successful.
and who's.
Mineral cluster depleted.
Oh, you leave colors
Our
on?
allies are in combat.
Noob!
I do.
Most people do. I hate it. I just get too confused.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Up. Yeah, Maynard's fighting Protoss. Just trying to get up there.
Our allies are in
Apparently
combat.
there's a base back here that Maynard never
Our
took.
allies are in
Oh,
combat.
I'll
base?
take that one.
Oh, that one? Oh, shit. Oh, my God. I wish I did take it because my
Sorry,
base
I'm
has been killed like 10 times.
I know.
Alright. I'm gonna try and jump on that fucker, man.
Our allies
Oh,
are
that's a
in
lot of
combat.
bio.
Now. I'm getting attacked by 2 armies now.
Okay, coming.
Come help.
One of them left. Go, go, go.
Mineral. Our allies are in combat.
They came from behind!
Nice. Pig, you're my hero!
Our allies
I've been
base
literally
is
just getting hammered repeatedly this whole game. I'm really happy I could finally do something.
I'm happy you did too.
Our allies are in combat.
I'm gonna defend the left side.
Mineral cluster.
Ooh, no defense? Alright.
Analyze with hype. I try to do that. Breakouts. That's actually my brand.
Our allies base is threatened. Mineral field
My brand.
depleted. Our allies are in combat. A mineral field.
I mean, there's so many ways you could break down commentary, though. Like, it's so reductive just being like hypecast or analyst. You know, think about the different things you can get excited about in a commentary of any match. The story of the player, the history, their emotions in the heat of the moment. You can talk about the tactical, the strategy genius. You can talk about the, you know, the history of how this relates to previous situations they've been in. You can get hyped because a lot of shit's blowing up, and that is actually totally valid in my opinion. Sometimes there's just big, awesome fights. Yeah.
Our allies are in combat.
I'm helping.
Yeah, you are.
I don't know if I'm helping that much.
Well, I'm just trying to get back to like 100 to supply.
Okay, what are the armor upgrades on this Protoss? I swear those Colossus aren't dying as quickly as they should. It's got like +3 armor or something.
Economy's getting better.
I don't know why I keep dropping so many skins.
Something to be said about listening to audio-only casts. Yeah, it is kind of weird though, because well, yeah, you definitely want
Our
to
allies are
think
in
about
combat.
that. We are definitely a medium that is
Our
catering to
allies
people who are
are in
actually
combat.
watching. If
Yeah.
we were actually a medium that was catering to just more so audio only, like radio would, it'd be very, very different. Like I've actually
Yeah.
studied some sports broadcasting, and they literally teach you like, hey, make sure to repeat the score every 5 minutes, it's like a rule or whatever. And it's like, oh yeah, we would never do that.
Remember, it's 0-0.
Yeah.
Imagine doing that in a soccer game. Guys, it's the 90-minute mark. The game's about to end. Still tied up, 0-0.
My stream very gray.
Right.
It might be a little brighter because I turned my gamma up. So the thing is, you can make your stream not gray, but it's more slightly like lit up, which makes everything a bit
Let me have
whiter.
a look at you. Let me have a look at
So
you.
you can like technically the graphics are meant to be more dark, and it's actually just harder to see shit. Some players play with max gamma. Now that obviously looks super, whereas mine is just up a little bit, maybe 15% or something like that. So yeah.
Gamma I find needs to generally be a little bit more higher. I think stream darkens it somehow. I'm not sure why.
Yeah.
That
I
looks
think
fine.
it's just better for playing as well. Like a lot of the pros used to play with max gamma, just make things real clear to see. But I don't know, I can compare it to Maynards and Zombiegrubs. I'll take a look and kind of open you guys' VODs.
I mean, it's just
Compare it to
I'm
Maynards
just
and
on the screen with clouds behind me because I'm up in the sky.
Oh, I can just open the VOD from a minute ago though. Haha.
Yeah. I didn't notice anything. I was watching your stream earlier, actually.
Could just be used to it though.
Is it mod only chat? No, just no one.
As
watches
if
me
I
play
watch your
games.
stream that much. I mean, wow, someone thinks a lot about himself.